Hello, I'm going to remind everyone how to add and subtract, especially with regrouping, and as it pertains to decimals as well. The only difference when adding and subtracting decimals is to keep the decimal point in line as you add and subtract. So I'll start with a simple addition example with no regrouping. So we could have 2 and 37 hundredths plus 21 hundredths. And I'm saying this with the proper math language. However, it may be easier for you to say it as $2.37 plus 21 cents, which is perfectly fine. So 7 plus 1 is 8, 3 plus 2 is 5, and as you can see, I have lined up my two decimals, and the decimal for the answer also stays in that line. 2 plus 0 is 2. So that one didn't involve any regrouping. To regroup, we'll have to do another example. So 1 and 14 hundredths plus 3 and 36 hundredths. So 4 plus 6 is 10. Now, if I were to write 10 over here, just to show you, the 0 is in the ones place. You always have to put the ones place on the bottom. The 1 is in the tens place. We put that in our next place value right on top. So that's our 10. Then we do 1 plus 3 is 4, but don't forget about the 1 we just added. So that would be 5. Then we put our decimal underneath our other two decimals. And finally, 1 plus 3 is 4. So our answer is 4 and 50 hundredths. Let's do another regrouping example with a little bit bigger numbers just to make sure we've understood this. So we'll try 14 and 27 hundredths plus 17 and 3 hundredths. So now we have 7 plus 3. Again, that's also 10. So our 0 stays on the bottom and our 1 must regroup into the 10th place. 2 plus 0 is 2, but we have to add that 1 to make 3. Our decimals are lined up and we continue that with our answer. 4 plus 7 is 11. So here we have another regrouping situation. 1 goes on bottom and the other one goes to the next place value on top. So now we have 1 plus 1 plus 1, which makes 3. So our answer is 31 and 30 hundredths, or you could even say 31 and 3/10. Either would be correct. Another way of saying it in dollars and cents would be $31.30. Now, let's look at subtraction. It's always a little bit harder. We'll start with a simple one. So if we have 6 and 29 hundredths minus 2 and 4 hundredths. Well, we start with our ones place. 9 minus 4 is 5. 2 minus 0 is 2. Then we continue our decimals down to our answer. And 6 minus 2 is 4. So there's no regrouping in that one. It's pretty straightforward. Always start with your ones. If we have regrouping, we do have to change some of our digits to allow for a possible answer. So we'll show you some of those. 8 and 3 hundredths minus 4 and 12 hundredths. So starting with our ones, 3 minus 2 is 1. Now we have 0 minus 1. Some students like to do 1 minus 0. However, that would be incorrect. You must subtract the bottom number from the top number. So 0 minus 1, we know we can't do that, but we have to do it somehow. So we're going to regroup. We're going to move over to our ones place, our wholes, and oops, sorry about that, just getting used to this new tool of mine. We have an 8. We're going to change that to a 7. We're going to take one whole away. And we're going to break that one whole into 10 tenths. So that means we're adding 10 tenths to this 0. That makes 10. So now we have 10 minus 1, much easier to do. That is 9. Here we have our decimals. Carry that down to the answer. And 7 minus 4 is 3. So this is, again, this is a little bit harder, a little more challenging than regrouping with addition. Always remember that if you're crossing off one number, you must be crossing off the digit next to that. You can't just change one digit when you're regrouping with subtraction. So let's try a little bit of a bigger number. Let's do 27 and 32 hundredths minus 11 and 7 hundredths. So 2 minus 7. You cannot do 7 minus 2. You must do 2 minus 7, but that's impossible. So we're going to cross off our 2 and our 3. We're going to borrow 1/10 to make that 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. And that 10th becomes 10 hundredths. So 10 plus this 2 we already have makes 12 hundredths. 12 minus 7 is 5. 2 minus 0 is 2. Bring our decimal right below our other decimals. 7 minus 1 is 6. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So our answer is 16 and 25 hundredths, or if you like to talk in dollars and cents, $16.25. Hope you found this video helpful, and feel free to contact me for any questions.